Or he's drunk. That could be a possibility. It's only 8 o'clock on a Wednesday. Yep, on the phone. Thursday's thought, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to talk about, and I finally came up with an idea, and it's completely inspired by my ticket on Sunday. That video will be up next Tuesday. I'll have that, and you guys can watch that. I was very disappointed in myself, but it happens. It's part of bike life. So basically what I want to talk about is safety, and it's not just bike safety, but safety on the road in general. I'm a hypocrite. I'm gonna flat out put it out there. I'm a hypocrite. I text and drive. I check my Facebook. I answer. I don't do emails, mostly because I don't know, I don't get a lot of emails, but texting, Facebook, social media, I try to just do them at stoplights, but every once in a while there's one that is just pressing. You know, I have to answer it right then and there for some stupid reason. But I shouldn't. And the hypocrite part of it is I condemn those who do. You know, I look over, especially when I'm on the bike, I look over and I see somebody on their phone, and I get upset. I'm like, dude, get off your phone. I don't have a cage around me to protect me. And if I end up getting hurt or killed if I get hurt, I'm going to be very upset because you weren't paying attention. But if I get killed, I guess I can't really be upset. But those around me aren't going to be real happy, I guess. So as a result of riding a motorcycle and then also getting a ticket for driving too fast, I want to talk about texting and driving. Like, obviously it's not a good idea, and there's some reports that I've seen that texting and driving is basically the same as drinking and driving. It's distracting. You don't pay attention, and I see it all over the place. I see people, just driving along. In fact, on this road, last week I was coming back in the Suburban after dropping the kids off at school, and this guy in a green pickup truck never looked up, went through the turn, just staring at his phone the whole time. Crossed the line, almost hit me, didn't even budge. And I didn't have the, on this one I'll honk the horn because it's right there. But in the Suburban, I don't have a tendency to honk the horn. I should have, or at least yelled at the guy. I think I had my window down. Nah, he had his window down. I didn't have mine down. Anyway, very frustrating. It's like, dude, you cause an accident on this road, and people are going to be really upset because a lot of people use that little 2-lane bridge to get back and forth through town. But whatever, So as a result of things that I'm seeing while I'm on the motorcycle that I'm really aware of, because I have a different perspective now of what's going on. I'm going to be not using my phone while I'm driving, unless I'm using it for GPS, I guess. I have a spot on my dash where I put my phone, and I use it mostly for Pandora. I've got the Bluetooth stereo, so I get to listen to music while I drive. But I get messages and whatnot come through, and most of the time I ignore it. Most of the time I ignore it. Every once in a while, I also have a watch, a smartwatch that I get my. Whoa! I also have a smartwatch that I get my messages on, so I can usually check that and see if it's important. But that's not nearly as distracting as looking at my phone while I'm driving. So that's what I'm trying to do there, is I'm trying to get away from using my phone while I'm in gear. If I need to use it, then I'll find a place to pull over and use it. And I've been pretty good about that for the most part, and I'm definitely not using them in a school zone. Something else that I want to talk about as far as safety is concerned. Now, we've talked about my ATGAT, all the gear, all the time, in a previous episode, and I've been good about wearing that. I wear jeans, which I'm wearing until I get padded pants. I wear boots, I got a helmet, gloves, padded jacket, and I'm trying to make sure I put in my earplugs every time. So just overall trying to be safe. And but part of safety too is being aware of your surroundings, which I usually try to be pretty good. I'm horrible at remembering to turn off my blinker, but I'm usually pretty good about seeing, my surroundings. Like, I'm usually pretty aware. I'm scanning and I'm checking my mirrors. And just especially when I get on the interstate, I'm usually pretty aware of. I try to stay aware of who all is where on the highway, and as long as I keep moving faster than the traffic, I don't have to worry about whoever's behind me. But that being said, I'm not always aware of how I'm driving. Case in point, I got busted Sunday night because I wasn't paying attention to where I was driving and how I was driving. I was riding with two other riders, and I got to a point where I wanted to let loose, rip it, twist that throttle back, and I did. And the two under 21 riders kept it responsible and had a decent speed, whereas I'm ripping it at 90 plus miles an hour down a road similar to this one. And it was actually a lot like this one. It wasn't this one, but it was like it, meaning that it was very wide, very open. There was one other car on the road at the time. But as I crested a hill and came down, I slowed down and got busted for, he said he clocked me at 76, which was at 55. So that was unfortunate. And so I get to take defensive driving now and pay the fine and all that stuff. Now I've got to figure out child care for that as well. But it happens. And the important thing is to know that I need to pay attention to what I'm doing and be alert and aware. And lastly, not put others in danger. That is very important. I put the other two riders I was with, who were riding reasonably, riding the way you're supposed to ride, I put them in jeopardy because I drew attention to us and I brought out the cops. And thankfully they didn't get involved in it, but that very well could have ended their riding for an unforeseeable future. I don't know for sure. I can't speak to that exactly, but they did not get to talk to the police. And I'm glad, because I would have felt very, very responsible for it, because they weren't speeding. They weren't doing anything illegal. They weren't drawing attention to themselves. I was. The 42-year-old man riding with 18 and 19-year-old boys. I can say boys. I'm an old man, right? Riding with these two boys who just want to go out and cruise, whereas I was out there trying to get my addiction for speed fed. I don't mean meth. So that's it. That's my Thursday thoughts, especially for you motorcyclists. This is for everybody, really, but if you ride, don't be an idiot. Don't put others in jeopardy, especially if you're in a car and you're texting. You're putting everybody around you in jeopardy. And in fact, this morning, I was late to where I was needing to go because somebody had an accident on the interstate and it backed up the interstate for miles. Let's see, exit 201 all the way up to almost exit 205. So 3.5 to 4 miles of traffic backed up because somebody had an accident. I don't know if they were texting, but I'm pretty sure that had something to do with it. I'm sure they didn't spill their coffee and burn their lap. I'm pretty sure they were texting. But again, I'm making assumptions. So if you're out there and you're on the road, be aware of your surroundings. Make sure you're doing the speed limit. I'm going way into the speed limit because this thing is off by about 10%. So I'm actually only going, I'm going about 45 now. And don't put anybody else in jeopardy. I mean, you're not the only one out there. There's other people that they want to go home too. They want to just be. They don't want to get hurt or killed by somebody else because they've been neglectful. I think that's a way worse way to die than having somebody actually come after and murder you. Like, I'd rather get murdered flat out than just be killed by somebody who wasn't paying attention. Well, that's it for me, guys. Have a great Thursday.